Hi friends, this is Wayne from Outsider Comics, and today I want to talk to you about our all ages books. We have a pretty darn large all ages section. It is just to the left of when you come in. Just come on in, turn left, and boom, you see books. Over here we have books that are kind of for 1 to preteen, and then over here is like just like slightly older folks, but they're not just for kids. That's why we don't call it the kids section or the teen section. There are, they're for everyone. And sometimes maybe you're like, okay, I'm old, but I don't want to read like adult things because I just don't want too many bad feels or violence or sad stuff or heavy stuff in my entertainment. And that's totally okay. That's why we've got this extensive section that we point people to if they just want some nice, cute, cozy vibes. So let's take a look at this. When you come in, we have a timeline, right? So we have these picture books on the left, all the way to a full sci-fi anthology on the right, and like Star Wars and stuff. So you kind of get an idea of what books for each respective age is like. So if you're just not familiar with buying gifts, like maybe you're buying a gift for a kid that you don't see very often, that's why we provide this, so you can figure out where to start looking. And of course, you can always ask us for help. That's why we're here. We love doing this, and I want to kind of just show you some of the books we have and maybe talk a little bit about some of them. So we have Turtle Bread. This just came in. It's from Kim Joy, which, if you are like me, is just like the best Great British Bake Off contestant. And she wrote a graphic novel about just fitting in and also baking bread, and it's really cute. And it also, of course, has recipes. There are a lot of books that we have, like Diana and the Hero's Journey, right here, that are sort of kids for like kids versions of books like superhero books for adults. Like this is not about. This is like we've got Diana and her character, right? But we don't have any graphic violence or sex or like massive world-ending terrible things. It's just like Diana growing up and learning how to be a hero. Um, we also have nonfiction comics, like, oh, for example, this Earth Before Us. It is from one of my favorite artists, Abby Howard. She is a paleontologist by training, and then became a comic person. I don't know, a comica. She did started doing web comics, so I don't know what to call it. But anyway, this is really like stuff like this is really cool. Science comics, like if you want to buy a gift for a kid who loves to learn, science comics is it's just like a really good series. Um, Mushrooms, this is for everyone because, as you know, Gen Z and millennials love mushrooms for some reason. I don't know why. I'm a millennial and I love them too. Um, Manana is another book that I really like to recommend to folks, and not just kids, but also everyone, because it is sort of a Latinx sci-fi anthology, sort of a very optimistic sci-fi anthology, right? So if you want to just read some optimistic stories about a future that is, from the point of view of Latinos artists and creators, this is for you. And we have, of course, the Tea Dragon series, kind of like the most famous, cozy, adorable comic. And Kay O'Neill also has a bunch of other books that we have in stock, but Tea Dragon is like kind of the thing. Nimona, if you've seen it on Netflix, right, you probably know about it. It is also a very good comic. And Avatar, they just keep making Avatar comics, and I'm not complaining. And speaking of superheroes, Miss Marvel, right? Her being a younger superhero, her and Miles Morales being younger superheroes also lend to really good all ages comics, especially Miss Marvel, written by Samira Ahmed. Like this is just a really good book, especially with an own voices author. Um, And then we have like this is a little bit annoying for adults, I have to admit, because my back hurts just trying to take a video of this. But it's great for kids that they're down at the bottom. Oh, Wonderful Women of the World, another Wonder Woman comic, but not just about Wonder Woman, but also like just all the good women, all the cool women in the world. The Witch Boy is a um, I don't want to call it a trans comic, but it definitely is a comic about gender feels and kind of coming out and acknowledging yourself, and that is appropriate, in the sense that it doesn't have any like major violence or anything like that, and it's written for kids. um, Prince and the Dressmaker, another one that is about gender feels, that kind of is a great introduction for kids, into, or and also for adults, into the idea of like, hey, it's like, what if I want to wear a dress and I am a prince? What's up with that? Princess Ever After. Sorry, Ever After. I I want to call it like baby's first Sapphos. But yeah, it's about princesses who are, who are totally into each other, I guess. Let's see. We also have Maker comics in addition to Science comics. Just Maker is a thing that I think a lot of people love. Like, so if you're just like, I want to get a comic book for like a kid whose parents may not like them having comic books, Maker Comics is like a really good place to start them because it is educational. And like, even if that's not the case, like, they're just really good for kids who want to learn how to like make games or like make other stuff. Anyway, oh, my back hurts. I'm moving to the quote unquote more YA section. Taproot is from a local author, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is one of our outsider recommendations. It's about Ghosts on a Plant Store. Like, everyone loves plant stores, even if we can't keep plants alive. Um, Static. For those of you who are my age, you remember Static when you were growing up and how it got canceled because honestly, it was ahead of its time in terms of talking about social issues and talking about, well, what it's like being a black teen boy, even if you're a superhero. Well, they have been reviving it as comics, and they are, as the children would say, slap. Do we still say that? I don't know. But anyway, Static is a really, really good series to get teens, preteens, or millennials who are nostalgic about Static, right? Um, Wendy Zhu wrote Mooncakes. This is her new one, Infinity Particle. Mooncakes is another one of our perennial all ages favorites. Tilly Walden is just one of our favorite authors and artists, and so any book of hers we highly recommend. And we have like a whole bunch of other stuff here. Boop, 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 boop. I think I mentioned Miles Morales before. Right, so these are essentially intended, like, not necessarily intended towards a younger audience, but they are, how do I say this? They're like more cartoony. Like, books like these are more cartoony and less like, serious, dark, uh, edgy type stuff. Kind of like not none of that like '90s comic type thing. Kind of swinging back to just like, good old fashioned like hopeful superhero things. Same thing with Green Arrow. Oh, and we have the Sheets, Delicates, and Lights series. It is These are adorable, and they are also some of our bestsellers. Now that the entire trilogy is out, you can get them all in one go. Squirrel Girl is, I mean, everyone loves Squirrel Girl, including the entire Marvel universe. So that is another great book for every reader who just, like, if you're a kid who's never seen, or like you're a kid or even an adult who's like never read superhero comics before, like, it's a great introduction. It's a great modern introduction, right? Because she is like kind of reimagined as like a modern college girl, but also for people who are into Marvel comics who have been reading them for like the last 20 years, there's just so many in-jokes and references. It's perfect and also it's adorable. And look at these little squirrels. Look at Tippy Toe. Um, blah. Okay, I will stop doing that. And oh, Lumberjanes. This is another one that we like to recommend for basically everyone. It's essentially like a bunch of Girl Scouts doing Girl Scout things and having hijinks, and it's cute. The one of my coworkers called it one time at gay camp, so it's also pretty darn queer. Let's see. What other stuff do we have? What other stuff we have? Oh, there's Heartstopper, which is, I believe, a Netflix series now. I can barely keep track of books, so I think it's a Netflix series, but that is a good one. Check Please is another cute kind of like we'd say perfect for teens but also perfect for everyone like comic series that originally was a webcomic, and it is about a boy going to college, being out of his depth, but deals with it by baking pies and having a crush on a boy who's maybe mean to him. IDK. So yeah, lots of cool books here, and of course, you know, I'm just rambling on about these books, so I don't even know like that my coworkers can, like other folks at Outsider, can ramble about other books as well. So if you, ever you come in, you're just like, I want to buy something for someone or for me, and you're like, but I don't know exactly what I want, just let us know, and we'll just ramble about books we love at you, or we will just ramble about books that you will love at you, that we also probably love as well. Okay, anyway, that's been like 12 minutes. I should like stop recording now. Bye.